The attendance of a few members and friends whose curling accomplishments are world class. Ian Tetley, three-time Brier and world champion and member of the Curling Canada Hall of Fame. Along with his wife, Erica Brown Tetley, who is an 8-time U.S. Women's Champion. Erica? Although I haven't seen him, John Bass. Is John with us? No? Well, had he been, I would have said this. John Bass, Canadian and World Junior Champion and member of the Oakville Sports Hall of Fame. And last but not least, Ross Scarrow, credited with personally saving men with brooms from being a disaster of a movie. Now, your organizing committee, chaired by Steve Moses, has been tireless in their dedication to making this evening yet another to remember. And once again, let's give them a hand. The order of proceedings is laid out in the program at your table, and I'd also like to draw your attention to the sponsors and donors who have generously contributed to help make this event extra special. So don't forget the silent auction that will remain open until 10:30 this evening. Now during dessert, we have a couple of surprises planned, including a walk down memory lane and a special tribute to Ross. But first, let's talk a little bit about turning 60, shall we? If we were here tonight celebrating someone's 60th birthday, we'd be saying things like, well, at 60, your supply of brain cells is finally down to a manageable size. At 60, there's nothing left to learn the hard way. At 60, your secrets are safe with your friends because they can't remember them either. At 60, in a hostage situation, you're likely to be released first. But we're not talking about people, we're talking about our place. For many of us, our second home, David Feldstein. We're talking about 60 years of good curling and great fellowship, and it all started in 1954. 1954. The population of Oakville numbered approximately 6,500. The local newspaper was the Oakville Record-Star, and the mayor was Lachlan MacArthur. Sports Illustrated published its first issue that year, and the Toronto Maple Leafs weren't in the playoffs then either, as the Montreal Canadiens lost the Stanley Cup to the Detroit Red Wings, Cheryl. Especially important to me in 1954 is that is the same year that M&M peanut chocolate candies were introduced. And speaking of a lot happening in that year, 1954 was also the year General Electric introduced colored appliances. Now, a show of hands, other than Bob Betts, who still has a Harvest Gold colored appliance? Okay, there you guys. There's one of them. 1954, the year streetcars left Winnipeg. Hey, who could blame them? The Matt Baldwin rink from Edmonton won the Brier, and another important event that would shape the future of curling, and Jamie Sproat's love of the game occurred with the introduction of the first 16-ounce can of beer by the Schlitz Brewing Company. Terms used in curling today meant completely different things back in 1954. A hit and roll referred to a drink and a smoke between ends. A hack was the result of the hit and roll. A hog line was the crowd at the bar. And no handle made it very difficult to get into the washroom. For those music lovers in the room, and I understand Greg Irwin is one, Elvis recorded his first record in 1954, and the hits that topped the charts back then included some pretty suggestive titles, including The Man Upstairs, Papa Loves Mambo, Make Yourself Comfortable, Teach Me Tonight, Make Love to Me, and Swing Heat. Interestingly, the more things change, the more they stay the same. The titles topping the iTunes chart 60 years later include Top 30, Wake Me Up, Turn Down for What, All About the Bass, and Bang Bang. But what has changed is our club. Without the foresight and determination of Ed Berringham, Gordon Purdue, and Ned Farley, we wouldn't be here tonight celebrating. As you may know, our club opened on December 10th, 1954, with 5 sheets of ice on the site of what was once the Victoria Park rink, where many played their first indoor hockey. Since then, numerous friendships have been created, and okay, maybe a few, shall we say, been altered, but without question, countless fond memories have been emblazoned in our minds thanks to curling and the fellowship at our club. A little later, we'll take you down memory lane as we build yet another shared memory for all of us. Enjoy your evening, enjoy the music of the Michael Vieira Band, enjoy your food, enjoy the friendship. I'll now ask Bill Hamilton to come forward for a word or two of thanks before our meal. And as he makes his way up, let me emphasize that we do have a lot to be thankful for regardless of age. For example, for those of us that have turned 60, which is the new 40 by the way, I'm standing here thinking how nice it is that wrinkles don't hurt.
Thanks, Jim. It's always a challenge in these types of settings to find a grace that sort of transcends all the different religions and cultures that we enjoy in our country today. So when faced with that challenge, what do? You go back to fundamentals. And I went back to the game of curling. And there was a Curler's Grace written by a parent in Dartmouth, which I think you will find interesting. It's an interesting way to talk about all the things we have to be thankful for. So let's pause and reflect on our lives and give thanks. Starts off. Let us raise our eyes to you. May we come around to your plan for our life. Though we stand in slippery places, be with us to the last end. Lead us to accept a win and a loss with graciousness. Guard our bodies from any injury. Take out any behavior in us that is unsportsmanlike. May we hurry to please you, for you are our rock, and in your sight we are all winners. Thank you for the health and strength to play the game of curling. Thank you for the feast that is before us. May it never be burned. Amen.